Welcome to Threads of Truth, podcast where real-life mysteries meet internet speculation.
Mhm.
Today, we ask, what happened during the final call with Brandon Swanson, and how does someone vanish while on the phone with their parents? We're about to really get into one of the most perplexing missing person cases out there.
Wow.
A modern mystery, It's kept investigators guessing, and, internet sleuths busy for more than a decade now. Just picture this. It's late, very dark, on a rural road back in Minnesota. A 19-year-old kid, Brandon Swanson, he's driving home after some college celebrations, and then, boom, his car goes off the road, ends up in a ditch.
Right.
No, he's okay. Physically uninjured,
Yeah.
maybe a bit shaken up, disoriented perhaps, but he seems calm overall.
Yeah.
What does he do? He calls his parents.
The people you'd call.
Right.
It's his first instinct.
He tells them he's fine, tries to describe where he is, and he actually decides to leave the car. He starts walking towards some lights he sees, thinking it's a town nearby, planning to meet them there. But this is where it gets, strange. It shifts from just needing a ride to something deeply unsettling. Because for 47 minutes, almost an hour, Brandon stays on the phone with his parents, Annette and Brian.
Yeah, 47 minutes. It's a long time.
It really is. And it's not like a panicked, broken call. It's steady. They're talking. His parents are driving around trying to find him, giving him directions. He's describing what he sees.
Trying to piece it together in the dark.
Exactly. And then just like that, out of nowhere, mid-conversation, he just blurts out,
That exclamation.
yeah, like a sudden shock, maybe fear, and then nothing. The line just goes dead.
Silent.
Total silence. They
Oh.
tried calling back again and again. Nothing. Brandon Swanson was never seen again, never heard from again. So this deep dive, it's really about trying to unravel that moment, that baffling, chilling final second. What did he see? What happened?
What could cause that?
Right. Where does he go? And how does someone just vanish mid-call,
Yeah.
leaving absolutely nothing behind?
Right.
It's haunted his family, stumped the police, and, it fuels endless speculation online.
It really does. And the audacity of it, the fact it happened almost in real time through his parents' ears, it's chilling.
It feels so immediate.
It does, and it challenges everything we think we know about how people go missing, especially when they're actively talking, trying to get help. It's like being a witness, but the final scene is just cut off.
Yeah.
And that single unresolved moment it's understandably powered years and years of searching, theorizing, and interestingly, it even led to significant legal changes for missing person cases. It's this void, this mystery that just demands some kind of answer.
Okay, so let's unpack the timeline. Let's trace the events leading up to that call.
Yeah.
We're talking about Brandon Swanson, 19 years old. He'd graduated from Marshall High School, was a student at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby.
Right.
The date is May 13th, 2008. He's out celebrating the end of the spring semester. Pretty normal stuff for a college kid, right?
Yeah, end of term parties. Happens all the time.
We know he was at a couple of parties in Canby that night, and yes, he was seen drinking alcohol. Now, this detail gets brought up a lot online, so we need to be careful here.
It's a factor people seize on.
According to friends who were actually with him, he wasn't visibly drunk. He'd had some drinks, was celebrating, but they didn't think he seemed, severely impaired.
Right. Not falling down drunk or anything like that based on witness accounts.
Exactly. And that's important because his state of mind, his level of possible impairment, it really colors a lot of the theories about what might have happened later. Could he navigate okay? Was he easily confused?
It adds that layer, doesn't it? Even if it was just moderate drinking, the context of college parties, some alcohol, it just becomes a starting point for a lot of the online speculation.
For sure.
Even without clear evidence he was heavily intoxicated, it feeds into that whole disorientation discussion. Could it have amplified the confusion of being lost in the dark, made him misjudge things? It's one of those what-ifs that the online communities really dig into.
Totally. So the night's winding down. Brandon leaves Canby, heading home to Marshall. It's about a 30-mile drive. This is sometime before midnight.
Okay.
Then, just before 2 a.m. on May 14th, he makes that first call to his parents, Annette and Brian.
The call that started it all.
Yeah. And like we said, he sounds calm,
Yeah.
tells them, hey, I drove the car off the road. It's in a ditch. He reassures them he's not hurt.
Which must have been the first relief for them, hearing he was okay.
Absolutely. And he just asked them to come pick him up. Simple request, right?
Seems straightforward enough.
But here's the first major problem. Brandon thinks he's near Lind. That's a small town, maybe 7 miles southwest of Marshall where he lived.
Okay, so that's the location he gives them.
That's when he tells them. He even tries flashing his car lights, hoping they'll spot him as they drive out looking for him near Lind. But they can't see him. He can't see them. And this mistaken belief that he's near Lind, that becomes the absolute foundation for where his parents start looking frantically.
And that initial misidentification. Wow. It's probably one of the most devastating parts of this whole thing, isn't it?
It really is.
Because later, the cell phone record showed he wasn't near Lynn at all. He was actually calling from somewhere near Taunton, close to State Highway 68.
Miles away.
Miles, like 25 miles away from Lind, and crucially in a completely different direction.
Oh, wow.
So that geographical confusion, it sent his parents and then the first wave of police responders searching entirely the wrong area during those absolutely critical first hours.
Just a massive error based on what he thought he saw.
Exactly. Compounded by, 2008 cell technology limitations. It just underscores how vital getting that location right is right at the start. That mistake had huge consequences.
Unbelievable. So despite, spotty service calls dropping occasionally, which was pretty common back then in rural spots.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He stays on the phone with them for about 47 minutes. Just let that sink in. Nearly an hour talking to his mom and dad while they're trying to find him.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? That continuous connection.
And he stays pretty calm, apparently. His dad, Brian, really emphasized that later. Brandon decides, okay, I'll leave the car. I see lights over there. Must be Lind. So he starts walking towards them.
Thinking he's walking towards help.
Yeah, he even tells his dad, hey, meet me at the parking lot of the local bar there. Like he fully expects to just walk into town any minute. And Brandon Swanson, his dad, he remembered specific things Brandon mentioned during that call. Little details. Passing fences, hearing water nearby.
Environmental cues.
Yeah, things that seemed minor at the time but became vital clues later for the search teams, trying to figure out where he might have walked. You have to wonder, though, was he really that calm? Or was he putting on a brave face for his parents?
That's the question, isn't it? And the length of that call. It's fascinating because it wasn't a quick, help me, I'm scared call. It was sustained, almost methodical in a way, trying to solve the problem.
Right, like a practical issue.
Which makes the end even more shocking. That feeling of relative stability, this ongoing effort, and then just bang, cut off.
Shattered, yeah.
Builds this narrative of, okay, we can fix this, and then rips it away. It makes you lean in thinking, what could possibly interrupt that steady flow so violently? What triggers an E06 after nearly an hour of calm conversation?
And shattered it was, that chilling end. It came just after 2:30 a.m., 47 minutes into the call. Brandon's voice, calm just seconds before, suddenly cuts through. That jolt, ooh, sate.
That's it, the last words.
And then the line just went dead. Silence.
Yeah.
His parents, you can only imagine their state. Growing panic, trying to call back again and again.
Desperately trying to reconnect.
But his phone never picked up. Never rang through again. Nothing. Brandon Swanson vanished at that exact moment.
And that phrase, those two words, they really are the absolute core of this entire mystery, aren't they?
Completely.
They instantly flip the script from a routine roadside problem to this deeply disturbing unsolved disappearance. It injects this element of sudden unknown danger.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate cliffhanger in a true story. Leaves this massive void that everyone, investigators, family, online communities, has been trying to fill ever since. What did he see? What happened right then? It's more than just a missing person case. It's that frozen moment, that final terrified sound demanding an explanation.
So in the immediate aftermath, it's 6:30 a.m. now. Brandon's parents, Annette and Brian, they report him missing to the Lynn police.
Okay, finally getting official help involved.
But what they heard back initially, it's just devastating. They were basically told to wait. The police said, it wasn't unusual for guys his age to stay out all night after parties.
Oh, come on.
And Ed Swanson specifically remembered an officer saying, and this must have just cut them to the core that it was Brandon's right to be missing.
His right to be missing after that phone call, that's just awful.
Heartbreaking. And such a dismissive response in a crisis. That initial resistance, that delay,
Yeah.
it had huge implications.
You lose critical time right there.
Later that morning, the Lind police did start a search. But of course, they found nothing near Lind because he wasn't there.
Right. They're searching the wrong place based on bad info.
That's when the Lyon County Sheriff's Office got involved. And crucially, they pulled Brandon's cell phone records.
Ah, okay. Now we get the real location data.
And the records showed that shocking discrepancy. He'd been calling from near Taunton by Highway 68, 25 miles away from Lind, in a totally different direction.
Wow. So the whole initial search was completely off base?
Completely. It just reset everything, and hours had already passed.
And the impact of that delay, that misinformation, you can't really measure it, can you?
No.
Finding his car, finally, near Taunton, about a mile north of Highway 68 that confirmed the cell records. But it also brought Lincoln County into it because it was near their county line.
More jurisdictions involved.
Exactly. And the car itself, it was hung up on an incline, sort of at the edge of a gravel road, not badly damaged, but the wheels were off the ground, stuck.
So he definitely couldn't drive it out.
No way. But the frustrating part, because of the grass and gravel, they couldn't find any clear tire tracks showing exactly how he got there, or, more importantly, footprints showing which way he walked away.
Ah, so even finding the car didn't give them a direction.
Not immediately, no. It confirmed where he was finally, but not where he went next. Those critical first hours, just gone, wasted, searching the wrong spot.
It's layer upon layer of difficulty. So now they have the right general area. Brandon's cell call had pinged off the tower near Minneota, another town on Highway 68.
Right.
So by May 15th, the day after he vanished, the search could finally focus. They set up a perimeter, about a 5-mile radius around that tower. This area included parts of Yellow Medicine County too, so even more agencies got involved.
Okay, so the search area is finally corrected, but it's still a large rural area.
Huge. And Sheriff Dahl, one of the investigators, he made an interesting point. From where Brandon's car was stuck, you could actually see this prominent red light on top of a grain elevator in Taunton. That could easily have been the lights Brandon saw and thought were Lind, right?
That makes sense. It shows how easily you could get turned around out there in the pitch black. A single light on the horizon feels like a town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder of how disorienting that landscape is at night. So they launched ground searches, they had planes doing flyovers.
Standard procedure, yeah.
But the big break, or what seemed like it, came from the search dogs. Specialized bloodhounds brought in from Codington County, South Dakota.
Highly trained dogs.
And they picked up a scent trail, a solid 3-mile trail.
Okay, that's promising. Where did it lead?
It mostly followed these field roads, heading kind of west-northwest, went past an old abandoned farm, and then, crucially, the trail led directly to the Yellow Medicine River, and it stopped right there, at a point where it looked like the track entered the water.
Ah, the river. Okay, that's
hugely significant. That became the strongest lead they had.
Right. That bloodhound trail ending right at the Yellow Medicine River. That pretty much cemented the primary theory for law enforcement, didn't it? Accidental drowning.
It pointed straight there.
And the conditions were right for it, unfortunately. The river was reportedly running high and fast that spring. Lots of rain recently. Some spots in Lincoln County were supposedly 10 feet deep.
Wow, 10 feet.
Yeah. So slipping, falling in, getting swept away, it seemed tragically plausible. They searched the river extensively, right? Boats, deputies walking the banks?
Oh, yeah. The DNR brought in boats. Deputies walked for miles along the banks. They even put up gates downstream hoping to catch anything. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No body, no clothing, no sign of him ever being in that water.
And that's the real puzzle, isn't it? Even with a strong trail leading to the river and extensive searches, how does absolutely nothing turn up? That's what keeps the other theories alive.
Exactly. And the searches didn't just stop after that first big push. Even when the main operations wound down, Sheriff Vizecki from Lincoln County, he personally walked that stretch of the river every single day for 30 days.
Wow. That's dedication. Shows how much this case affected people.
It really does. And Brandon's parents, Annette and Brian, they famously kept their porch light on every single night since he disappeared. Still do. A symbol of hope he'll come home.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. A constant vigil.
Yeah. Searches picked up again later, too. In the fall of 2008, once crops were harvested, giving better visibility. Dogs apparently still hit on human remains since near where the trail ended, but still, no Brandon.
So tantalizingly close, but no concrete find.
Exactly. There were huge volunteer searches, too, driven by online interest. April 2009, they covered something like 100 square miles. October 2010, over 100 volunteers, dogs back near the river.
Massive efforts.
Massive. And still, nothing. No new clues. It's like the land just swallowed him without a trace.
And that relentless effort by his family, especially dealing with that awful initial police response, it brings up a really important point about the system, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Their experience being told it was his right to be missing, that directly fueled their advocacy. And it led to Brandon's Law being passed in Minnesota in 2009.
Which was a huge deal.
Huge. It mandates that police have to start investigating missing adult reports immediately, regardless of age, no more waiting periods, and it requires better info sharing between agencies. So out of this awful tragedy came this really significant positive change in the law. It ensures other families hopefully won't face those same initial roadblocks.
It's an incredible legacy born from such pain, a testament to their persistence.
Definitely.
Okay, let's shift gears now and dive into the internet speculation side of things. Because Brandon Swanson's case, especially that final, it has absolutely captivated, and you could say obsessed, online communities for over 15 years now.
Oh, absolutely. It's a staple on forums like Reddit, web sleuths, countless YouTube videos dissecting every detail.
And those two words, seat, they are, without question, the single most debated element. It's the ultimate mystery soundbite, isn't it?
It really is. It's this open-ended punctuation mark on his known existence. Everyone wants to know what it meant. What happened right after he said it?
So what are the main theories floating around online? What do people think caused that abrupt, chilling end to the call?
Well, it's fascinating how that one phrase forces everyone to look back at the whole 47 minutes differently.
Yeah, definitely.
Was he really calm? Or is he maybe hiding panic? And what could possibly happen so fast, so suddenly, to cause that kind of raw reaction? It's that instantaneous shift that fuels all the speculation.
Okay, so let's start with probably the most common theory, the one that aligns most closely with the physical evidence like the dog trail, and the one law enforcement leans towards: accidental death.
Misadventure.
Right. This is big on places like Reddit and web sleuths, mostly centered on that Yellow Medicine River drowning possibility.
Mm-hmm.
People point to the darkness, the unfamiliar area, maybe slight impairment, making him prone to an accident. The saint here would be the sound of that accident happening.
Exactly. Like maybe suddenly slipping on a steep bank into the river, or falling into a deep ditch or a hidden culvert he just didn't see in the dark.
Yeah, or even some people speculate about old farm hazards, unmarked wells, cisterns near those abandoned buildings the dog trail passed.
Rural areas can have those hidden dangers, for sure. But the river theory gets the most traction because of the dogs. The idea is he fell in, maybe hit his head, got swept away quickly by the current.
Makes logical sense, given the trail.
It does. The argument against the lack of a body is usually that the river could have carried him miles downstream, or he could be snagged underwater, buried in silt. Rivers can hide things very well.
Right.
But the fact that nothing has ever surfaced, not a shoe, not a phone, not a shred of clothing, despite repeated targeted searches with sonar, divers, everything, that's the huge question mark that hangs over the accident theory.
It feels like something should have turned up, right?
You'd think so. And that complete lack of any physical confirmation is what keeps people searching for other answers. It leaves the door open.
And that lack of trace evidence is why other theories persist. Like, okay, what about hypothermia or exposure?
It's mentioned, yeah. If he fell, got injured, got wet, even if the night wasn't freezing, being exposed could definitely lead to hypothermia. But usually that's seen as a secondary thing, happening after an injury or getting lost. It's less likely to be the sole reason for vanishing completely without a trace, unless he wandered very far off and collapsed somewhere undiscovered.
Okay, so moving away from accidents, what about animals? Is that a serious theory online?
It comes up, less common maybe, but people speculate, could the, be a reaction to suddenly encountering a large animal?
Like what? A deer jumping out? a coyote.
Yeah, or more dramatic theories involve things like cougars or even wild boars, although the likelihood of those specific animals being aggressive in that exact area is pretty low, according to wildlife experts.
Right. And the evidence.
That's the problem. Just like with the accident theory, there's zero forensic evidence. No animal tracks suggesting an attack near the trail, no signs of a struggle, no blood, no remains found that could be linked to an animal encounter.
So it's plausible he could have been startled by an animal, but an actual attack seems unlikely without proof.
Exactly. It explains the exclamation maybe, but not the disappearance. So it tends to stay in the realm of speculation, not a strong investigative path.
Which brings us to the theory that gets a lot of attention, especially on places like YouTube. Foul play.
Right. This is where many people land when the accident theory feels incomplete due to the lack of a body. The idea is that Brandon encountered someone dangerous out there.
And the O site is interpreted very differently here.
Completely. Here it's seen as surprise or fear or realizing you're suddenly in danger from another person.
What kind of scenarios do people imagine?
All sorts. Maybe a random encounter with someone malicious on that dark road, maybe someone hiding nearby. Could it have been someone he knew unexpectedly? Some theories suggest he might have stumbled onto illegal activity, drugs, poaching, something hidden out in the country. Then there are variations like a hit and run, where maybe a driver hit him after he left his car, panicked, and disposed of the body. Though, again, no evidence of a collision was found on the road itself.
Or the idea he got picked up.
Yeah, the Good Samaritan gone bad theory, someone stops to help but has bad intentions. Or maybe he wandered onto private property like an isolated farm and had a fatal confrontation with an angry landowner. Though authorities usually say reports of landowners blocking searches aren't substantiated.
So foul play explains the sudden panic and the missing body.
It does. It provides a narrative for intentional concealment. That's why it resonates. But, and it's a huge but, there is absolutely zero direct evidence.
No witnesses, no forensic clues.
Nothing. No signs of struggle, no DNA, no suspicious individuals identified. So while it feels emotionally satisfying to some as an explanation for the totality of the disappearance, for law enforcement, without any leads or evidence, it's incredibly hard to pursue. It remains a theory fueled by the lack of other answers rather than by positive proof.
Then there's the disorientation factor itself. We know he was wrong about his location. Could that be central?
Oh, definitely. His confusion about where he was amplified by the dark, maybe the alcohol. It's a massive, undeniable piece of the puzzle in almost every discussion.
So simple could have been, but a realization.
Yeah, maybe a sudden, awful realization of just how lost he truly was. Maybe he saw something or didn't see something that made him understand he wasn't near Lind at all.
Yeah.
That the lights he was walking towards were wrong, or that he was heading into even more remote terrain.
Like a moment of dawning horror about a situation.
Exactly. Or realizing the landscape was different, more dangerous than he thought. That misidentification of the lights, the Taunton grain elevator versus Lynn, it just perfectly shows how easy it is to get completely turned around out there at night. Any light seems like salvation, but it could lead you further into trouble.
And that disorientation, that fundamental confusion, it definitely hampered the search.
Massively. Did it make him walk in circles? Did it lead him towards the river or away from roads? That initial 25-mile error meant critical hours were lost searching the wrong place. In missing persons cases, those first few hours are everything the golden hour. Losing that time, searching miles away. It was a potentially catastrophic setback for finding him, whatever the cause.
And the phone itself, that's another piece he never called back.
Right. The silence is absolute after that. Oh, same.
So what happened to the phone? Did it break in a fall? Did the battery finally die after being on for 47 minutes straight?
Could be either. Or if you lean towards foul play, maybe it was taken or destroyed by someone else. Or maybe he was injured so badly he simply couldn't use it.
It's not really a theory on its own, but it's woven into everything else.
Exactly. It's a key physical element. And think about the tech back then, 2008. Cell tracking wasn't like today's GPS. Those pings came from towers covering a wide area, maybe a 5-mile radius in the countryside.
Much less precise.
Much less. Today, they could likely pinpoint him much faster. Back then, that 5-mile circle was still a huge area to search, especially with fields, woods, riverbanks. It highlights the limitations they faced.
And then inevitably you get the more out there theories online, right?
Always. When a case is this baffling, speculation can go anywhere. Things like intentional disappearance, did he just walk away to start a new life?
His parents strongly deny that.
And his actions really contradict it, don't they? Calling for help, talking for 47 minutes, trying to get picked up. That doesn't sound like someone planning to vanish.
Not at all. And then
Then you get into the really speculative stuff, especially on platforms like TikTok, alien abduction, paranormal encounters, the kind of theories that pop up when logical explanations seem exhausted.
why do those emerge, do you think?
I think it speaks to our deep human need for an answer, any answer, when faced with a complete void. When conventional explanations fail or feel unsatisfying because there's no body, no closure, the mind can grasp at anything, even the extraordinary. It reflects how profoundly disturbing a true unsolved enigma like Brandon's disappearance really is. We want to fill that blank space.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, let's try to synthesize this a bit. What are the main takeaways? For me, that stark contrast, the calm 47-minute call, then the sudden, violent, it's the most disturbing part.
It really is. It suggests this instantaneous shift from manageable problem to overwhelming danger or realization. It forces you to question everything. Was he truly calm before or just masking fear? And what could possibly trigger such a raw, immediate reaction? It's the ultimate unanswered question.
And the case just highlights the sheer difficulty of searches in these conditions, right? Rural, dark, unfamiliar ground.
Absolutely. No light, few landmarks, varied terrain from flat fields to dense riverbanks. It makes searching incredibly hard. Even mild weather can add to the confusion. The environment itself becomes a huge obstacle.
Compounded by that location area.
Massively compounded. The lack of precise location data early on, the bad advice to wait, Brandner's own mistake. It created this critical delay, lost hours searching the wrong place. That time could have been vital, whether for rescue or investigation. It hammers home how crucial, accurate, immediate info is.
That 25-mile discrepancy just fundamentally flawed the whole initial response.
It did. It meant the clock was ticking while resources were deployed miles away from where they needed to be. That lost time allowed whatever happened, accident, exposure, foul play, to become potentially unrecoverable. A hard lesson learned from this family's tragedy.
And weighing foul play versus misadventure. It's tough. Law enforcement often points to the dog trail and the river for the accident theory.
Makes sense based on the physical evidence they do have.
But the public, especially online, often leans towards foul play, precisely because nobody was found. It feels more deliberate somehow.
It's a human tendency, maybe? To look for an explanation that fits the most dramatic piece of evidence that, it suggests something sudden, external. And without a body, the accident theory feels incomplete, unsettling. So the idea of foul play, even without proof, fills that narrative gap for many. It offers a villain, a reason, even if it's speculative.
The emotional weight of this case online is huge, too. People really connect with the parents' ordeal.
Deeply. That desperate call, the initial dismissal, the endless searching, it's every parent's nightmare. Their grief and hope are palpable, and it makes the mystery very personal for many followers.
And their advocacy, leading to Brandon's law.
It's an incredible legacy, turning that pain into action that helps others. It ensures families in Minnesota won't face those same initial hurdles. It mandates immediate investigation, better communication. It's a real positive outcome from an unresolved tragedy, showing the power of persistent advocacy.
So Brandon's case remains this haunting mystery because of everything, really. The unique phone call, the location confusion, the total lack of physical evidence despite massive searches. It just leaves the door wide open, inviting endless questions, and, for the family, enduring hope. How could absolutely nothing be found?
That's the question that echoes.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Brandon Swanson's disappearance is just this stark reminder, isn't it? How quickly something seemingly small, like a car in a ditch, can spiral into this impenetrable mystery, especially when darkness, disorientation, and miscommunication all work against you. It makes you think about how fragile safety can be, even in places that might seem familiar, and the power of one single unexplained moment. How it can just hang there, unresolved, haunting people for years, demanding an answer that might never arrive. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the disappearance of Brandon Swanson. If you have thoughts, theories, or maybe suggestions for similar cases, please find us on our social platforms. We'd love to hear from you. Next time on Threads of Truth, we're heading to Norway, to Isdalen, sometimes called Death Valley, We'll explore the case of a woman found mysteriously burned, surrounded by fake IDs, wigs, coded notes. Who was the Isdal woman? And why was her life and death shrouded in so much secrecy?